lie, killing all that he loves. Used to walk around the world with a bunch of pain. Ain't what I wanna be, but I can't complain. Used to think my mistakes was who I was. The devil is a lie, killing all that he loves. Used to walk around the world with a bunch of pain. Ain't what I wanna be, but I can't complain. You can't tell me that my God ain't real. I don't care how they feel. Yes, I got a testimony. Cleanse me like he chlorophyll. Taste the fruit, no orange peel. It's Lady Cam, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about waiting on God. Yeah, this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to try not to make this video so long, but you know, I'll be talking. So before I start, I want to read this to you, and it's about waiting on God, right? So we wait on the Lord by trusting in him. We wait on the Lord by seeking him, and we wait on the Lord through prayer, right? And I want to read this short paragraph. Waiting on the Lord involves the confident expectation of a positive result in which we place a great hope. This expectation is based on knowledge of and trust in God. Those who do not know the Lord will not wait on him, neither will those who fail to trust him. We must be confident of who God is and what he is capable of doing. Those who wait on the Lord do not lose heart in their prayers. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. Waiting on the Lord renews our strength. Waiting on the Lord by trusting, seeking, and prayer establish our faith and bring serenity and stability. So like when I do my videos, I really like to put in my own testimony. So I'm going to give you a story about when I didn't trust the Lord when I should have, right? So I was looking to buy a vehicle, right? And I was like, I want to find a vehicle. Usually I would go for cash cars to avoid like monthly notes and things. So normally I would try to find like a cash car to avoid notes and stuff like that, to, you know, be on the cheap side. And for the most part, I've always had great cash cars that last me for a few years, you know what I'm saying? So this particular time I was like, well, I got, you know, I got a few racks. I'm on the marketplace, on different websites, or just, you know, driving by with someone, just looking on the side of the road and things for cars. Talked to a few dealerships. I had to, you know, up my credit just a little bit to get something that I would prefer. Because if I'm going to have a note, I want to get something that I don't mind driving, right? So I ended up finding this vehicle. It was an SUV on the marketplace. So I was finished early at work, and I decided to go see the vehicle. So I went and saw the vehicle. It was, I want to say it just turned nighttime. So at this time it's like nighttime, you could say. And so I'm checking out this car. I'm looking at it. I said, well, it looks pretty decent. Like, I'm really not one of those car people. Like, put gas in it and wash it. You know, that's all I know. So I'm looking at it. It's pretty decent. He was letting it go for, I want to say 18. And then he went down to, I want to say the first time he went down was like, he took like 100 or so off. And I'm like, and then he was like 15. So right then and there was a red flag that I should have paid attention to. But I was so eager to, you know, get back on my feet and get a vehicle so I could do my music and just, you know, move around with the move around, you know. So I was like, all right, you know, because all he told me was, what needed fixing is maybe some brakes, but he was like an alignment and, you know, maybe like a tune-up or whatever, but that's all it needs. So I was like, oh, cool, alignment. You know, I'm Googling alignments. That ain't nothing. And he was like, some tires. So I'm like, that's cool. I got that. That ain't nothing. That what he said. So I end up buying the car, and
I had to head home so that way I could bring somebody else to drop me off so I could drive the car home, right? So I ended up doing that, and I came back to get the car to drive it back home. I locked the car because I'm like, I don't know, I'm not from here, I'm not from around here, I don't know this neighborhood. I saw some guys walking, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're gonna try to break and steal my car I just brought. So I locked it before I left, so when we came back, I had the key and I'm trying to get in the car. So I go to the passenger side. Okay, well, let me try the back. And I couldn't get in the car, bro. Like I spent like a rack with 15, and I can't even get in the car I just brought. So I'm like, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Breathe, breathe. And another red flag was, because I prayed too, right? So when you pray, you have to listen for the answer and hear the answer, right? And I remember when I first got in the car, when I was checking it out, immediately it was like, no. I heard a no. So I don't know if it was like the Holy Spirit was God, or it was just my intrusive thoughts, or was the devil trying to prevent me from coming up, you know what I'm saying? But I was so eager to get it then. I was like, I'm going to just get it and fix it up. So anyway, fast forward, trying to get in, can't get in. So I end up calling the dude. Was like, yo, I'm coming back to try to take the car home, but I'm not able to, like, the key not working. Like, is there something I'm doing wrong? He was like, oh, that key don't work to unlock the car. What do you mean? Because when you have a key, keys unlock cars so you can get in them and you can drive them. So I'm like, what you mean? What you saying? So at this time, my heart is like, because I really just spent my last on this and what I was saving up to get some wheels. So you know what I'm saying? We on the phone with this dude, and like I'm just sitting there like, bruh, hoodwinked? I've been hoodwinked. So I'm like, all right, whatever. He was like, he can call a locksmith to get it, but it's gonna cost. So I'm like, that's more money. Like, is he really trying to just get me out of more money? Do he know the call a locksmith? Like, they homeboys, y'all trying to get me out of more bread? So all kind of things is going through my mind at this point. So we ended up driving home. I didn't take the car home the first day I brought it. And I want to say it was the next day they were able to unlock the car. And after work, we went back over there to go get the car, and I was able to get in there. So then I'm like, well, I'm not able to lock my car? I need to be able to lock my car. Like, I'm new to the area. I don't touch nobody. So he was like, well, you probably got to get a key made for that. You could have told me this. You could have put this in the description, my boy. He was like, oh, hope y'all don't try to come back and shoot me or kill me or nothing. I'm like, if I didn't have the Holy Spirit on me, you probably would have been in the dumpster. Because this is ridiculous. You don't do that to people. So anywho, but I don't advocate for violence, you know. Don't do it. So anywho, so after that, it took, I want to say, almost a week for a locksmith to figure out how to just make the key or the key cutout to open the door. So he finally got it. Of course, I had to pay them, you know, so like it's just adding up with this car, right? And I'm not even able to drive it correctly. You know, I didn't have tags, so I wasn't driving the car. So anyway, I end up getting it towed to a place to get the alignment. I said, today is the day I'm going to get this alignment, and I'm going to get on the road. I'm going to get my papers and registration and all that good stuff, right? I get to the shop. It was like, well, before we check for alignment, we're going to check if it's, if you can do the alignment, because sometimes you may need something else done and then the alignment. So I'm like, okay, sounds about right. Whatever, you know, tomato, just let's get it done. Anywho, they bring it back, and he calls me back there. He's like, yo, come, you got to check this out. So he's showing me all kind of stuff under there. Like, this needs to be replaced. This needs to be fixed. You got to do this. And I'm like, all right, well, just how much is going to cost? How much? Man, they end up telling me, I want to say it was like 5 or 6 different things that needed to be done. And all together was like 3 stacks or something. I'm like, I could have just brought a new car, put a down payment on something that was, and it was a '03. I'm spending all this money for a '03. And on top of that, I had brought, because when we brought it home, I want to say a day later, one of the tires went flat. So I ended up buying 4 new tires. That's like 5 or 6. So at this point, I done spent over 2 stacks on this whip, and I can't even drive it. But if I would have listened to that no when I got in there, right? Right. But just being so eager to get it. So months passed by. I'm at this point, I'm kind of frustrated, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, now I have the money to get it fixed, but we still want to make sure that if it's fixed, I'm able to drive it regularly, you know. And we found somebody that could do it for like 2, I want to say, if not like 18. I can't remember the exact amount. So I'm like, cool, we could go with him. So I end up calling the tow truck people, and I told them where I needed to be towed, so that way the mechanic can check it out and see if it's fixable, if it's worth me putting more money into it, right? So that day, it was rainy, and the tow truck people did not call me back. So, like I said, I was getting frustrated, so I started just online shopping for cars. Like, I was on Carvana, I was on CarMax, it was another site, and I just started filling out applications for things. Because I'm like, you know what, the credit looking a little better, so maybe I could get a little something, you know what I'm saying? A little beep, beep, a little toot, a little beep, beep. So, it was crazy, because that day, CarMax gave me a call back, and I'm like, well, I guess, because my mind is stuck on fixing this other SUV, and then they call. So I'm like, I guess I could, you know, finish the application over the phone. So they was asking me questions and, you know, blah, 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 you know, all that. It's cool, you know, they ran my credit check, got me approved for some finance, and I'm like, okay, if this is legit, I mean, I guess, I don't know, but my mind was still on trying to fix the other car. So I said, you know what? Maybe I just need to admit that I made a mistake. I didn't wait on the Lord. And I felt like God was telling me, buying them cash cars, that was the old way of thinking. That's old. We on the new. You living the kingdom life. You a child of God. The child of God gotta have some nice stuff, some reliable things, because I'm gonna need you to go here, there. You can't do that with that car. But with the car that I have in mind for you, it'll allow you to do all the things that you want to do and the things that you need to do to move in purpose, right? And that's what I was getting. So I was like, well, maybe this is a little bit better than that, because keep in mind the amount of money that I would have paid to get that fixed was the same amount for the down payment of the newer car. So you talking about trying to fix up a '03 when I can get like a 16, you know what I'm saying, for the same initial upfront price. So anywho, they ended up calling me back. We were talking back and forth, all that, signing documents, and I'm like, oh, so this is real. This is really happening. So of course I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm reading my word every night. I'm just staying in it, and I'm trusting God. And you know, God gives us these journeys and puts us in the wilderness to learn to build our character. So in this moment, I was learning patience. I was learning to trust God. So it was a lot of things that he was trying to get out of me and instill in me by me waiting on the right situation. So long story short, I ended up getting the newer vehicle that was from the dealership. And I remember, even if I was to fix up the 2003 car, I wanted to fix it up. I had to fix up the interior. There was a dent. Like, it was a lot of other things that I would have had to pay just to get it looking nice, when that same amount of money brought the newer, nicer car. And like I said, this brings me back to waiting on God. How when we wait on God, he prevents a lot of things that we don't have to go through, and he guards us. A lot of people think boundaries are limitations, when it's only for our protection and for our safety. Just how a parent would tell a child, be in before night. Why would a parent tell you to be in before night? Not to kill your fun. Of course, they know you want to have fun, but at nighttime it's not safe. Especially back in the day. Now, I mean, daytime not safe, but you know what I'm getting at, the example that I'm trying to convey here. Yeah. So if I would have waited on God, I would have had more money in my pocket. I would have had more money in my pocket. So, but thank God that I did have the funds to, get the car for the down payment. So, trusting God and waiting on God can be a little difficult, especially for those who have trust issues with people. Trust issues maybe like with their father figures or parents, and just the things that they experienced in life. Now, I'll give you a personal one with me. I was just so used to, I call myself Miss Get It Got It. I was so used to writing down plans and executing them, not really needing a lot of help, just doing it myself. You get so used to doing things yourself and on your own, it's like you don't really trust nobody else but yourself because you're so used to doing it. But then God will bring you to a place where everything that you try to plan or work out, it will not work. It will not work. It will not work. Why? Because he's wanting you to rely on him. Because at that point, you're trying to be your own God, and God don't like no idols, baby. There's only one. There's only one. So that's another point that I wanted to bring. A lot of times we rely on ourselves, and he'll bring you to a point where don't nothing work out. Trust me. I hated that season. There was something that shout out to Pastor Jerry Flowers, I think that's his name. I was watching, I forgot the name of the sermon, but it was some notes that I wrote down because it applied to my situation and what I was going through. And he was talking about counterfeits come before like your blessings. Like a lot of times we want something so bad that we will fall for the counterfeit instead of waiting on the real because we're antsy. So I wrote down some notes as far as like to identify a counterfeit. Number one, especially in the music industry, I knew this: when you're being rushed, when someone is trying to rush you, make a decision. It's only this deal only lasts for today. You gotta buy it today. Nope, I'm good. So when you're being rushed, when it keeps you in your comfort zone. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's the Lord's, it's going to be outside your comfort zone because he wants you to what? Trust him. Okay. Makes your spiritual disciplines hard to keep. I mean, that just speaks for itself. Any decision that you make, or if it's a counterfeit, of course it's going to get you away from your spiritual, disciplines. Always comes in the form of something that you want. Look at there. It was a SUV. I wanted an SUV. It was in my price range. It was in my budget. You know how that be. It was in my budget. It's an SUV, and I could get it now. I think this, as long as this you, I think I'm gonna get this for me. This is for me. But it wasn't. It was a counterfeit. And always comes in the form of an answered prayer. Sorry. It always comes in the form of an answered prayer. And of course, I was praying for a vehicle. And I saw it and I thought it was for me. But it wasn't. It was a counterfeit. Yeah, and that's the most recent story that I have about not waiting on God and what happened. I have so many stories on me when I didn't wait on God or when I rushed something and what happened. And I thought it was God and an answered prayer, but it wasn't. So you have to keep in mind things that you really want, blessings, prayers. A lot of times, the counterfeit will come first, right? To block you from getting the blessing. So wait on God, do your fast, pray, all that, read your Bible, and just wait on him and hear his voice. Because like I said, when I first opened the door and got in the car and looked, it was no. That's all I heard. No. that was it. No, and I should have listened then. But you know, you live and you learn. I know now. I'm waiting on God. What we doing? I'm waiting on you. What we doing? Are we good? We chilling? Cool. I'm chilling. So yeah, wait on God. Trust God. It'll save you money and time. Money and time and heartbreak and stuff. I found some more wait upon the Lord helpful tips for you guys. Even though I said some earlier, if you guys wrote that down, if not, just rewind it. Rewind it. It's there. Acknowledging God's control of all things. God's in control. Let's not worry. Coming to terms with our own dependence upon God. Like I said earlier, depending on God, we get so used to doing everything ourselves and trusting ourselves because of what we see and what's around us and the influence. Just put your trust in Him. He got you. Seeking spiritual strength from the Lord. Of course, reading your Bible, praying, and seeking strength in Him. Being patient and quiet, that's a big one. That patience, being patient and quiet. And in that, I was being patient and quiet. I wasn't outwardly complaining, oh, my God. I was like, okay, God's trying to teach me something in this season. Okay, what we learning? What we doing? Refraining from needless fear and worry. Of course, you don't want to be scared because God ain't made that for us. That ain't who He is. And worry, of course, what we worrying for. God got it. All right. Continuing to learn and obey God's commands. That's like Bible study, expecting the Lord to save. Trusting Him that He will do what He said He will do. Seeking the Lord through consistent prayer, of course, great prayer life, pray all day without ceasing. Longing for the Christ's final return, that's self-explanatory. So, I hope you guys got some gems from this video, and I hope this can help you with your daily life and things that you're going through. So, hope you guys got some helpful tips on how to trust God and wait on God. Because we be doing a lot and we just need to chill out and wait on God. Thank y'all. Subscribe. Love y'all. Hit that notifications, baby. I'm out of here. Love y'all. Be blessed.